I was with someone, and this person had some kind of behaviors that I had talked to him before about, and I ended up finding out in February of last year that these behaviors were illegal behaviors, very detrimental behaviors. And when I found out,
detrimental to who?
To vulnerable individuals who cannot stick up for themselves.
So that could be, you mean like people that are disabled or
people who are under the age.
Children. So let's just call it minors, children. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so I discovered some things that were going on immediately. Actually, no, I wouldn't say. I checked first, and I said, did you do this? This person gave a reason for why this demographic, and I contacted the police. Because for me, and I know that, and I don't want to judge other people who have stayed in these situations because everybody's mindset is different. But for me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stay. So I immediately contacted the authorities. They came, house was raided, devices were taken. And then, I started the proceedings to separate myself from this person. Through those proceedings, to me, my speculation is that family members knew because of their reaction.
Family members of that person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know for sure, but by their reaction when I said, and kind of the things that were set in place, because I was asked not to destroy this person's life, and then they worked very hard to destroy mine. Because of the situation that I was speaking about earlier, when I was a kid. And not to say that this person did that specifically, but it was still triggering. And so I was working at the time. I had actually just finished my degree, and I had got the job. It was a remote job working fully from home. And I don't know if I told you, but I have a child with disabilities. So it was something that was it was something that I needed to kind of work from home so that he didn't have to fool with daycare, because we had another daycare situation that we were going through at the same time as this.
Daycare situation.
Yes. So basically when the situation happened with the person I was with and I turned him in, I had put my son in counseling for it, and he's nonverbal, but the school, they had a creative way to kind of get him to share some of his feelings. They basically gave him, it was like a booklet with white pages, and they let him draw. And we were thinking he was going to talk about, losing this person that had been in his life since he was 3, and he's now 10, or he was 10 at the time. But he ended up talking about a daycare situation. And by the second booklet, I'm contacting the therapist, and she's contacting me, and we're like, we need to call CPS because of the things that he was drawing. Come to find out, this person was being investigated for things that had happened in the daycare. Now, I had pulled him out the year prior, but it was during the time when he was there, so that was also being investigated.
Wait, so are we talking about two different people?
Yes. So it was 2 separate situations that were happening at the same time.
So it was someone that worked at the daycare.
It was a home daycare.
A home daycare.
Yeah.
And then the person that you were with was also another person that was
being investigated at the exact same time. And I had just started this job, and I had a mental breakdown. And when I say mental break, a lot of times when people think mental breakdown, you think, screaming and crying and acting crazy. It wasn't even that. My brain did not work. It was a point in time where my parents wanted to come get my son for me so I could have a break. And, they said to pack his bags. I couldn't figure out what to put in his bag. And I've packed his bag plenty of times to go over, to my parents' house so that they can watch him for me. I couldn't even, it was my functioning. I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I wasn't even living. I just was existing.
Shame.